Monday night in the NBA, LeBron James and the Cavaliers hosting the Charlotte Hornets. And it would be the Cavs early on jumping to a 21-0 lead over Lance Stevenson and his boys. And LeBron, the big guy, in a giving mood. Early on, he had 6 assists in the first quarter. There's a few of them. LeBron with the rebound, finding Kevin Love trailing the play for the three-pointer there. And this time, the King, yet again, looking for Anderson Varejao, and he'll find him for the jumper from the elbow. LeBron kicking it to Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie will let it fly from the corner to knock down the three, and this time, the full-court left-hand pass to Kyrie for the layup. The Cavs had 11 assists on 11 made field goals in that first quarter and jumped out to a 21-0 lead, but the Charlotte Hornets would fight back. There's Marvin Williams knocking down the three, and this time Kemba Walker getting in the paint and knocking down the floater. He had 24 points in the game. Cleveland leading by just 3 points. Then, in the second quarter, Gary Neal missing the three-pointer. Kevin Love with the rebound. He makes that full-court outlet pass to LeBron for the layup. The Cavs would lead 54-45 at the half. And in the third quarter, Kevin Love, this time with another one of those full-court passes off the steal. And LeBron will finish that one to extend Cleveland's lead to 9. Later in the third, LeBron driving and finishing that one. Warren Buffett in the house and looks pleased with what he's seen from the King as well. LeBron had 27 points, 13 assists, and 7 rebounds in the game. And off the Gerald Henderson miss, Kyrie comes up with the ball, gets it down the floor to Anderson Varejao for the layup. And later in the fourth, Kemba Walker blocked by LeBron James. The Cavs with a rebound. Dion Waiters gets it ahead to Kevin Love, who finished with 22 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals as Cleveland wins it 97-88. The Lakers taking on the Pacers in Indiana on a Monday night in the NBA. Kobe Bryant playing in his 1,270th career game. That ties up with John Havlicek for 22nd all-time. And it was an ugly first half for the Lakers. That's Kobe missing the three, and Nick Young doing the exact same thing. The Lakers would shoot 3 for 20 in that first quarter. There's Jeremy Lin airballing a jump shot. Kobe missing a jumper as well. The ball recovered, though, by Jordan Hill, who can't get the layup to go either. It's headed the other way. Solomon Hill to C.J. Watson, who would knock down the jumper. And later in the first, Ed Davis on the other end can't even get the dunk to go. A very tough first half for the Lakers as they go 7 of 43 from the field. And the Pacers lead the way 60-27. And Kobe trying to keep the Lakers alive in the second half off the Pacers turnover. It's headed the other way. The layup plus the foul, he would make that free throw. And with the steal, it's headed the other way. Kobe driving and finishing in the paint. Later in the third, driving in for the two-handed jam over his defenders. He had 14 points in that third quarter, but Kobe's run was just a little too late for the Lakers. Rodney Stuckey stealing the ball, headed the other way. He'll finish. He led the way along with C.J. Miles with 20 points apiece as Indiana wins it, 110-91. The Boston Celtics headed to Philly to take on the 76ers on a Monday night in the NBA. Michael Carter-Williams and the Sixers trying to move on from a really tough loss in overtime against Memphis on Saturday. And in the first quarter, that's KJ McDaniels coming in charging off that Jeremy Grant miss and got the putback slam. Philly leading the way 20-15 early on. But Boston outscored Philly 18-0 in fast break points in the first half. That's Avery Bradley finishing it off the Rondo pass. This time, the inbounds pass is picked off, and Bradley will finish that one as well. Boston would eventually re-grab that lead, and the closing seconds of that quarter, that's Kelly Olynyk knocking it down. He had 18 total points at the half. In the second quarter, Nerlens Noel can't quite handle that pass. It's headed the other way. Bradley would finish that one in transition. And Philly turning the ball over yet again. It's headed the other way. Rondo with the easy layup to close out the half. Boston forced 15 turnovers for 23 total points in that first half alone. MCW driving, missing, but that's why Nerlens Noel is there. He had a career-high 19 points in the game, but Olynyk took over on the other end for a career-high 30 total points. That's Rondo to Olynyk inside. And this time, Olynyk at the top makes his way to the baseline to knock down the jumper in the fourth quarter. Boston holds on to win it 105-87. It's a Monday night in the NBA. The Orlando Magic headed to Toronto to take on the Raptors. And Amir Johnson and Jonas Valanciunas having fun swinging from the rim prior to the game. Getting loose. The Magic looking to avoid a 10th consecutive loss to the Raptors, but it was Kyle Lowry leading the way early on. That's Lowry to Valanciunas in the first quarter. And this time, the fadeaway jumper. Toronto leading by 10 early on. And a scary moment for the Magic in the second quarter off the Tyler Hansbrough basket. Evan Fournier, keep an eye on him, gets hit in the face by Hansbrough's elbow. Now, he would have to leave the game to get stitches, but he would actually come back in that third quarter. He played just over 30 total minutes in the game and actually ended up with 11 points as well. Now, immediately following his injury, the Magic went on a 10-0 run. That's Tobias Harris for the layup. And this time he'll drive and get the short jumper off the glass. Harris led Orlando with 18 total points, and Toronto went ice cold in that second quarter. That's Valanciunas getting blocked. The Raptors didn't score a field goal for the last 6 minutes and 52 seconds of the second quarter. That was an 0 for 12 stretch. Orlando led by 8 at the half. Kyle Lowry taking over in that third quarter. He had 8 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds in the third alone. The nice move, he'll find Landry Fields for the 3. And that is going to be a nominee for one of Smitty's top 5 plays, #under the rim. Lowry, this time, knocking it down from deep. The Raptors outscored the Magic 27-13 in that third quarter alone. And Toronto continued to do what they were doing in that fourth quarter, pulling away. Lou Williams driving, laying it in. He had 18 points off the bench. And Lowry, yet again, he finished with 17 total points and banks that three-pointer as Toronto holds on to win it 95-82. The Chicago Bulls headed to Atlanta to take on the Hawks on a Monday night. And Joakim Noah warming up prior to the game, a positive sign for Bulls fans, but he wouldn't play due to that ankle injury in his 4th straight game. The Hawks showing defensive muscle early on, 7 steals in that first half. That's Paul Millsap for the slam to put Atlanta up by 2 early in the game. In the second, Derrick Rose driving, pivots, and gets that turnaround floater to go. He had 14 points and 8 assists in the game, but not that time. Rose blocked by Kent Bazemore. Could have been blocked by really any one of them, but Bazemore came out with one of his 2 blocks on the night. That's Rose to Jimmy Butler for the wide open 3. He had 14 points in the half. Later in the second, Al Horford to Kyle Korver, doing what Kyle Korver often does, knocking it down from deep. And with that, he passes Jason Richardson for 15th all-time in three-pointers made. The Hawks continue the good defense in that second half. That's DeMarre Carroll stealing the ball, headed the other way. And Horford cutting back door to Paul Millsap for the slam. And Tom Thibodeau is not pleased with what he's seen out of his Chicago Bulls team. Later in the third, Korver to Horford down low. And Horford got the shot to go plus the foul. He led Atlanta with 21 points. Aaron Brooks to Mike Dunleavy for the three-pointer, who had 11 points and 6 rebounds in the game. Atlanta still leading at that point. Horford now a bounce pass to a cutting Jeff Teague for the layup. He had 12 points and 7 assists on the night. And a wild sequence with time running down. That's D Rose to Pau Gasol, who spins and lays it in. Now the Hawks inbound the ball, try to throw it ahead to Kyle Korver. And Korver tried to pass it, but it was intercepted by Jimmy Butler, who then got tied up with Korver. And we've got a jump ball with just 14 seconds left in the game. It's won by Atlanta. Jeff Teague would go on to hit 2 free throws to ice that game as Atlanta holds on to win it, 93-86. It's a Monday night in the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks and Phoenix Suns facing off in Phoenix. The Bucks coming into Phoenix losing 25 of 26 of their last games in Phoenix, and this one would be an exciting one. Markieff Morris to the rim for the layup plus the foul. He scored the first 7 points of the game. Isaiah Thomas with the pass to Markieff, who knocks it down from the top of the key, and they would end the quarter on an 11-3 run. Markieff this time driving to the rim for the hard layup. He scored 19 points in the half. And Phoenix went into the locker room up by 9 at halftime. A scary moment for the Bucks here, though. Jabari Parker injuring his knee on this play. You can take a look there. It appeared to buckle, but he was diagnosed with a sprained left knee and did not return to the game. Heading into the fourth quarter, Isaiah Thomas got hot for Phoenix, driving, finishing with the left hand. This time, Thomas dribbling and pulling up at the top of the perimeter. That would cap a personal 11-3 run by Thomas. Jared Bayless with the pass to Zaza Pachulia for the layup plus the foul. He missed that free throw, but that would cap a 15-4 run by the Bucks. Markieff driving, kicking it out to Gerald Green, who knocks down the 3. Now Green had missed 13 threes prior to that one. Jared Bayless kicking it out to Jared Dudley for the 3. That would put Milwaukee up by 1. Now just 7 seconds to go. Off the inbounds pass, Phoenix finds Markieff Morris, who knocks it down yet again to put Phoenix up by 1 with just 3.5 seconds left in the game. Middleton to Dudley, back to Middleton, who gets it to go as the final buzzer sounds, and it's not the only time this has happened to the Suns recently. Blake Griffin, just last Monday, the same thing to beat the Suns, and then here he is today, Chris Middleton. The 3, and the Suns lose it in the final seconds to the Milwaukee Bucks, who come back to win it 96-94.
Champs in Portland. LaMarcus Aldridge honored before the game for moving into second, I should say, in Trailblazers history as a scorer. Asked Terry Porter.
That's some impressive stuff right there with a lot of years left for LaMarcus Aldridge, hopefully for Blazer fans in Portland. Along with this guy, this would be good.
He keeps indicating as much as though he's going to stick around in Portland.
I would play with that Lillard guy.
Yeah, he's pretty good. 14 points off 15 Spurs turnovers. This is Kawhi Leonard, the only one of the big 4 who played tonight for San Antonio. He went for 21 points and 9 boards. Here's Lillard.
Move by Lillard.
Into the paint.
You know, he's been so aggressive this season, having a conscious effort of driving the basketball, making more plays in the paint.
Tough news for Portland here. Robin Lopez injures his right hand as he goes up for the rebound. Hits it against Boris Diaw. He seems shaking that thing. He went to the locker room and would not return. Meanwhile, Aldridge got going. 7 of 9 in the third quarter, 14 points.
That's a tough cover for anybody, but especially for Boris Diaw, just using that length, and whether he's shooting jump shots or getting to the rim, tough to get that high to bother what it is that Marcus likes to do.
Going after that offensive rebound and back up and in. 23 and 14 on the night. Blazers up by 9. Rematch of their playoff series last year. The Spurs won that one in 5 games. This is Lillard. Didn't shoot well in that series. Better tonight. 23 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists for Damian Lillard, and a 5th straight regular season win in this series for the Blazers.
The Detroit Pistons headed to the Staples Center to take on the Clippers on a Monday night. Chris Paul never lost for the Detroit Pistons since joining the LA Clippers, and Detroit looking to avoid an 8th straight loss to the Clips. Andre Drummond with the block on CP3. It's headed the other way. Brandon Jennings ahead to Drummond for the layup. He had 14 points and 6 rebounds at the half. That's CP3 to JJ Redick for the jumper. Impressive in that first half as well, with 10 points on 5 of 6 from the field. Later in the first, Paul to Blake Griffin. Griffin knocking down the extended elbow jumper. He had 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in that first half. And the Clippers would go on a run and extend the lead in the second. That's Jordan Farmar for the three-pointer. And this time, Jamal Crawford lobbing the alley-oop to DeAndre Jordan for the slam. That would improve LA's lead, and here he goes yet again. Another one from Jordan. He had 13 points and 9 rebounds at the half. LA went into the locker room up by 11. Now the Clippers started the second half on a 23-9 run. That's Griffin missing the jumper, but Jordan's there to CP3, and he'll knock down the 3. And how about a 4-point play? Jamal Crawford to Matt Barnes. Barnes fouled here, and he'll knock it down. He made the free throw as well, and that would put LA up by 20 points. Barnes to Chris Paul, this time for another 3. He finished with 11 points, including 2 of 3 from downtown. And later in the third, Crawford to Griffin. Griffin with a 3-pointer of his own. He led the way with 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. The Clippers finished with 6 guys in double figures and win it 113-91.